War. War never changes. Oh, wrong game. This changed a bit. We're getting back to Desert Storm type labels here with Operation Polygon Storm. This is a tower defense real-time strategy combination. There's stuff going on, and it has a pretty cool progression system as well, where you can develop your various troopers, as they tend to refer to them. And let's go ahead and check it out. We've completed everything in the campaign, except for like getting hard mode done on a couple of maps. So we're left with 2 more to get hard mode done. Let's go ahead and see that. Let's go to the church. Now you have a total of 10 slots that you can fill in with the various units you want to bring. I've been going very mech heavy, so we're gonna bring in our. Oh, hey, it's actually an Abrams this time. So I changed the skin on it. It was a T80, I believe. And we'll bring in our artillery, our BTR. Let's go ahead and make sure we have it set on hard. Yeah, that's gonna unlock the Bradley skin for our BTR there. So that'll be cool. All right, too. Other things that we need to have. We need to have this, so that leaves us 2 slots. We have improved. No, actually, let's go without medic. We will go without medic. All right. I feel pretty good with that. So, a quick explanation. Well, no. Let's demonstrate. That's typically the best way to give an explanation. See it, feel it, live it. All right, we got a lot of defenses moving all the way up. Not a lot of mines, which is something I'm very thankful about. Go ahead and get you out there, and we'll get a hacker to back you up as well, bringing in our cash flow. And we'll start sending some troopers out to hold things down. As we're dealing with a lot of infantry. Wow, they got our hacker. What do you know? All right. Stay out of that. Yeah, dealing with this amount of infantry makes me definitely want to focus on that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a Humvee with the units that come along. And we'll continue to push that up. There is nothing actually different between the units in terms of if they're modeled on like Russian equipment or US equipment. So a BTR and a Bradley share the same capabilities, in other words. But you do get you do get cool differences. So hey, there's that. All right, let's go ahead and get a rocket turret down. We need to be taking that out, and in fact, artillery will help with that a lot. Can you take it out? I would rather you guys not necessarily push all the way forward. And then when we get the chance, we'll back you up with an Abrams. You do not... I mean... As I was saying about going all the way forward, you know? Alright. Bring in our Abrams. Okay, we are taking out their defenses. They also got a building. You, get out, 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 out. go ahead and toss down some automated turrets. We got our full complement of vehicles going now, so we can flesh things out a bit more. And fill it out with troopers. Okay. There go their last few defenses. Are you guys all really able to hit from back here? Looks like a lot of you are. So the artillery, its biggest limit in terms of getting damage out is the time that it takes for the shells to get there. This is, in general, how we beat a level. You take down their flag and raise your own. The Humvee to replace our loss. And look at that. We've unlocked the maximum cash for this one and a new skin. Well, actually, 2 new skins. Go ahead and get back out to that main menu. We can go ahead at the hub here. Everything that we currently have in use has been improved. So I guess we could start chucking points into people that we're not using, just in case. Not really going to do the heavy trooper or the shield trooper. Let's go officer first. Move speed. Rounds. Buff radius, yes. Buff radius is the way to go. So we have a paladin instead. Paladin skin for our artillery. And we have our Bradley skin. Bradleys have been getting a lot of attention, obviously, is associated with the conflict in Ukraine right now. But they're actually total crap. What? I thought oh, Hell Road as well. Alright, Fallen City first. Fallen City on hard. Make sure that we remember that. Okay. When doing war games, it was required that artificial bonuses are given to the Bradleys. So there was a system called Miles gear, at least the time that I was in. It's been updated with something a bit better now. But basically think high-tech laser tag. Anyways, they made it so that the Bradleys, that what they were able to fire was able to just go right through an Abrams immediately. And I think it was even able to outrange them, which is just completely ridiculous for the capabilities of their cannon. And secondary to that they could only be hit in certain portions. Now, the funny thing about a Bradley is it's tall as hell for what it is. It's actually mocked pretty well in a movie it's not a documentary. It has Kelsey Grammer and the guy from The Princess Bride, called Pentagon Wars. And they do a pretty good job mocking the situation that is the Bradley infantry fighting vehicle. They do an okay job of keeping people inside them alive. There is that. I'm not gonna say it's a good job, but they do it. They do an okay job. The armor that they actually have is tolerable. It's nothing to write home about by any means. It's not going to stop anything that you would face from an actual real military force, like any of the top 10 militaries in the world. And because of its height, it's actually a lot easier to take them out than it is to take out a BTR. Because they just stick out so much on the battlefield. But we're going to use him here. We're going to get our paladin involved, too. So frequently, in a lot of operations that actually involve cav units, the various tanks and infantry fighting vehicles, what will take place is they'll be dug in. Yeah, see this right here? The Humvee, it's obviously exaggerated. It would be coming up to like right here. By the way, there is no reactive armor on them. The US doesn't use reactive armor. Not because it lacks effectiveness, just... We like to spend a lot of money to get very little out of it. It's just kind of what we do. Well, what the Department of Defense does. Alright. Oh, we got one of their big guys. Cool. Let's go ahead and make sure he goes down quick. Replace our Bradley. Next up, we will replace... You're just burned out? That's funny how that worked out. We'll replace our other Humvee. Go ahead and get some turrets down. They'll keep things distracted, so that we can push up. Anyways, once you get a decent enough cash flow, you pretty much overwhelm your enemies in this. If you're playing it broke, like if you don't have upgrades for your people, you will feel that. It's pretty punishing in that situation, but otherwise, you do really, really well, and it's pretty easy, especially how you, depending on how you design everything. You do not have the type of armor to be first one up. Get up. There we go. Now do it. All right, let's bring in the paladin, and then we'll fill out with troopers. We'll get one more sniper. Okay, there go the defensive structures. Get another automated turret right here. Cool thing about the automated turrets, they take hits for you too. So we'll fill that in. And... oh, hey! We got their attack helicopter. And we just got a wheel wrecker achievement. You do not need... I don't know why you just went to run into that, but okay. You were safe earlier. Let's go ahead and get the rocket turret down to replace. And we'll get our Bradley going again. Anyways, very, very, very frequently, as I was in an engineer mechanized unit, a lot of our job was working in conjunction with the tankers, with the cav, and we would dig them in and all that sort of stuff so that they could have operations against one another. And get out of that. And so that involved digging holes for them to hide in and shoot each other with. All right, there. We got the extra cash. And we unlocked some new materials. That leaves us with, I was saying earlier, one, because I guess I didn't notice that, yeah, Hell Road has not been completed on hard. Let's go ahead and pull into that. But, so, whenever we simulated BTR against Bradley, BTR is a 1. And it wasn't necessarily because the BTR is better on its own. It's just because it's so much easier to target a Bradley. But like as I was saying, for our various training operations, we would set up the systems so that they couldn't be targeted in certain areas. And so the Bradleys were the units that were they had the highest kills. They were the last one standing if there was a high number of casualties. Like it was ridiculous. You had to cheat for them in order for them to look good. Because there was one time early when I had fairly recently joined the military. I was still like, I don't know, maybe a PFC. I was pretty low rank. Was at the National Training Center in what is near the Mojave Desert. Oh, hey, new skin, cool. Lots of mines for this one. We're going to... Yeah, we're going to eat that up. Okay. Mining van out right away. Then we'll get the hacker out. Give us some extra cash. Because that's the foundation of everything that we need. And then from there, we'll go automated turrets. So, as I was saying, are you not able to shoot? Oh, come on, you miss? All right, fine. I'm not sure if we'll get hit because of the corner of that, but we'll just move out just in case. And then we're going to start bringing in Humvees while we have all that distracted. There we go. Push up and get that. Get another automated turret. Let's put it right behind them. So that's the thing that makes the automated turrets and the rocket turrets so nice for this. Because you don't actually have to do anything realistically at all with them. You can just put them right behind your enemies. So as I was saying, National Training Center, 2001 time frame, I think. We were trying to be proactive to show how well we could do as an engineer unit. And that got us in a lot of trouble. So I lucked out. I got to be Op 4. That's opposing force. I got to play the Krasnovians, the stand-in bad guy that represents Warsaw Pact type forces, i.e. Russian equipment. And what we did is we doubled and tripled up on most of the things that we had. If there was one tank ditch, we made it two. If there was a minefield that was supposed to be of a certain depth, we would double, triple the depth of it. We could have somebody come in and take this and get the buff. Come on, you take this, get the buff. Headshot Havoc, cool. It's an interesting achievement. We're about to lose that, but they're fighting defensive structures, so it's going to come with the territory. Let's go ahead and drop down some turrets. So keep them busy. Place our Bradley. Next turret up. Get another replacement on our Humvee, and then we'll flesh things out on the snipers again. So, we're already winning that. But yeah, we just went ahead and kind of went a little overboard. And not only did we succeed, but we were pretty heavily punished as a result of it. We embarrassed some almost as embarrassing as that. There we go. These are our new things. And yeah, we just got an achievement for finishing off everything there. So, go ahead and take a look at that. Everything's all completed. We will take a look at the command hub in the progression system here. So while we're taking a look at cool skins, which, let's see, this is like the German camo. This is more of the forest camo that I was used to when I was in. This was for our DCUs. Yeah, this was the close-ish to the pattern that we had then. This is more what currently is being used, and then the Marines have a slightly different one from the Army on this. Which also interesting thing on that. So if we're gonna take a look at this, like this Humvee would be either a changed Army one or for the Marines, because you have the snorkel for the air coming in placed up. Anyways, we overwhelmed them with defenses that were multiple times the thickness than that was expected, and we won repeatedly, inflicting insane casualties and taking next to none. And you know, obviously this was a training operation, so those were not actual injuries and deaths, except in a couple of cases there were injuries, because you'd see tank commanders trying to prove us wrong. They try to tackle a tank ditch with an Abrams going at like 40 miles an hour, thinking that they could jump it, and they would flip it. The first time that I actually saw one flip was in training that we had in Pinyon Canyon, Colorado. And the flippin' Abrams, actually, the flippin' Abrams, that's a good way to put it, because it flipped. It went straight in. We made our tank ditch. So the dozer blade for digging them in is normally for a D7 bulldozer is basically just wide enough to be able to dig them in. But we went a half time larger than that, and they were thinking, well, somehow they had led themselves to believe that if they had enough speed, they could just kind of skip over it. Well, they didn't take any sort of visual estimations or measurements of what the tank ditch was, and because it was 1.5 times depth, and 1.5 times width, and actual real depth, the depths that you're normally supposed to dig these things in, a lot of times people slack and don't dig a tank ditch in as deep as you should. The Abrams went in. The gun stuck straight into the ground as it went in nose first. It flipped over. The people on the inside were getting scalded with hydraulic fluid as it was upside down, and stuff was leaking from ruptures in the various systems because it hit so hard. We were out all night with a couple wrecker vehicles and our bulldozers, trying to pull it upright so that we could get them out. We eventually were able to kind of separate the turret from the chassis, because they're not actually affixed. They allow gravity to hold them in. But we were able to get them separated and then be able to get the driver out of the hatch, which is right in here, and then we were able to get the rest of them out over time. But yeah, they had really bad burns, stuff like that. But that was another example of how this works, and it's kind of funny because as I was sitting there watching modern military operations, when there was the 2023 offensive operations in Ukraine, same thing basically happened. Russians did pretty much what we had done as the Krasnovians repeatedly in the Mojave Desert. They made their defenses a couple of times deeper, a couple of times wider, thicker minefield or larger minefield. It's not magic. This isn't something insane or ridiculous. But it worked. So what took place in 2023 offense against the General Armageddon, whatever, against his line defenses set up by the Russians. It was very, very predictable for me, because we had actually practiced that a number of years ago. We had a chance to see it. All right, refinery right here. I was number 12 a little while ago. Obviously, I'm just shy of number 20. People who are on the top, I mean, look at this. So let's go ahead and show you what endless mode looks like. And I've already done some on refinery. I did a little bit on Desert Citadel. Ah, I'm 19 there. Let's go ahead and do it on the third one. Airport. This see Saba, they've been putting a lot of time into it. Damn, 356 million on it. When you see it, you'll see that it's not necessarily a. Let's see, I should have set the score requirement better so that I can get more cash. But you'll see. There we go. Yeah, we'll go for the highest cash. You'll see that it's about patience. It's not about a difficulty. All right, these will be our forces. It'll work out just fine. So, there is no flag to take. And that's why this is about patience, necessarily about skill. Because honestly, the skill required is being patient. All right, we're throwing down some turrets to kind of keep them busy. Meantime. So we get forces out. And then we'll toss in a sniper, which will be able to shoot those that are in cover pretty well, since the machine gun turrets will convince them to stay in cover. Let's go with that. Convince them. So our score is nothing right now, because you're not gaining anything from just getting kills or getting cash. You have to go up and you have to score points attacking their radar, their listening outposts. Let's go ahead and call it that. Go ahead and get some more snipers, since they're taking positions like that. Ah, that worked out really well. We'll get a paladin, or no. We'll get an Abrams in. You don't really have to worry about thick groups of infantry, because the snipers are clearing that out. All right, we have some S troops. We are backing you out. We don't need to lose vehicles on that. Where are our snipers at? Where back are they? Okay, well, taking a while to get their kills out. Turret right there. Replace the Humvees. And then we'll come in. And bring in our Abrams. and then our paladin as well. So, score. Once again, being based on how much damage we're doing to the end, the object at the very far end. Go ahead. Those distractions up. Paladin recorded right now. Artillery Addict. Achievement unlocked. Bringing the Abrams here shortly. Alright, we're going to take some losses here because these guys have so much HP that they're normally able to get in on you. Boss will be coming in. We have one of their defensive structures down. Alright, now we got both of them down. Okay, we can fill out with one more sniper, and then we will fill in with troopers. And then this is where the score comes in. Let's go ahead, automated turret here. Alright, we'll be able to put in one more trooper. And now we're at our population cap. These down. Place it. Ah, bear is up. Everybody kill bear. Okay, and now we're starting to pick up our score. So they can finish. Okay, they finished him off before he got too close. So the damage on our paladin is limited based off of. See, look how slow that round moves. So actually getting them up closer is the primary way to get damage out of them. Might seem kind of ridiculous, but that's the way to get it. Artillery taken care of in this. Okay. We're going to have to replace our Bradley there. I did not see a circle forming underneath it. But maybe it just wasn't showing it. I think we can go another turret right here. Yeah, that one fell because we brought that in. And here's how you get the score. So, while we're waiting, get a work up towards a high score on this and show what it's like taking out the various bosses as they come in and all that sort of stuff. Let's go over some of the stuff that were my fun experience. So, as this is very similar to Operation Desert Storm named title, I was a kid when that one happened, but for the second Iraq War, I was there for the initial invasion and experience a fair amount of... Oh, the snipers can't one-shot them? Oh, really? Okay, good to know, good to know. So, 2003, 2004, initial invasion, first 13 months of the conflict. That's when I was there. Ooh, God, get out of that, get out of that, get out of that. Alright. This needs to go out. We have an ATGM. What are you guys shooting at if you're not shooting at this? Because it's not losing health. Place our units. There we go. Did lose the Bradley. Along with a fair amount of troopers. So these guys can actually outrun a Humvee, which kind of sucks. So unless we get, yeah, I was gonna say unless we luck out, they're going to be able to catch up to them. When we would go to the National Training Center and do the simulated operations with the Miles gear, that's the laser tag type system that's put on the vehicles, and you also wear it personally. When that was done, they ended up changing it so that the Bradley wouldn't have its Miles gear all the way up to the top. so that you had to get to the lower levels of it. Take them out, guys. Okay, wow, good job. Was not expecting that would actually, that they'd actually be as responsive as that. Good. So the way that worked was that Bradleys were actually more, they were less vulnerable in simulation than they were IRL. So frequently, there'd be evaluations at the very end of these sort of events, and the Bradley commanders would be the ones most well congratulated because they had achieved the most kills and so on and so forth. However, that wasn't accurate in any way, shape, or form. Like they were burning through Abrams from a significant distance away, which their cannon it's pretty decent against armored targets. Not for max range though. It starts losing penetrating power somewhat early off. Oh, cool. Alligator really came in and messed everything up there. Damn. Let's go ahead and get some replacements on things. Challenge champion. Okay. So that's for taking out 3 bosses, I think. Cool. Good on us. Get out of that, get out of that, get out of that. We do not have enough units forward. Oh, wow. Okay, I was really expecting that we were going to take that hit. That worked out all right. All right, let's get some more turrets to kind of cover. And that's going well. All right, then we can continue to build up our score again. So let's shoot for like 1 million or something like that. That'll probably be enough to get on the leaderboard. This, or to be close to being on it. They just showed a red icon because we lost a trooper. I think it would be cool if like an exclamation mark or something popped up, so that it was a bit easier to see when that was taking place. Anyways, so the Bradleys were given artificial advantages, and this led to some false beliefs and how powerful they were, and specifically how easy of a target they are, since they stick up so much. Right? Wow. All of them went down. We only lost one. That was pretty good. So, when the situation showed up with how things were going in Ukraine, it wasn't super shocking to me to see that Bradleys were being taken out a pretty decent number. I mean, there's Bradley Square, where there was just so many that were lost, because they're actually really easy to hit targets. Or the Bradley was able to outperform in simulated situations, and in general they have better armor, but that doesn't mean anything if you're constantly able to be shot, especially by anti-tank guided missiles and similar equipment. Go. Chance to place our Abrams. So, Bradley Square was kind of an expected situation. I'd spent years taking out Bradleys, taking out Abrams, which are, you know, a bit more difficult. But taking out the Bradleys, based off of the simulated weapon capabilities and stuff, it was always really, really easy, until they went ahead and made changes and gave them advantages that did not actually exist. So, since they wouldn't put the Miles system targeting on the upper portions of the Bradley, it was a lot harder to hit them. And then the Bradley can just go up to a hillside or whatever where it could peek over with its cannon. Take out targets. Take out targets. It did not take out that target. Take out targets, and then not have to worry about return fire, which obviously isn't how that works in real life. You don't have a turret that is completely unable to be harmed. You don't have magic capabilities like that. But that's how the tankers, that's how the Cav were trained. And when they passed that training on to the Ukrainian forces, I wouldn't be shocked if they had them behave as they had often done when they were training. Keeping in mind that training is just about all that actually happened in terms of these units fighting forces that actually had a decent chance against them. Taking out poorly trained and poorly equipped insurgents doesn't necessarily prepare you for the rigors of a well-prepared opponent. So, as Ukrainian forces were, especially certain armored vehicles like Bradley's, getting just wiped out in Bradley Square, that was not something that I saw as unexpected. I was just kind of waiting to see when it would happen, pretty much. Because as we portrayed the Russians playing what was called the Krasnovians, it's just the term that was used for the opposing force that represented Russian and Warsaw Pact forces. We would use similar tactics to what we understood to be their doctrine, and we were able to wipe out the American forces repeatedly. It wasn't even difficult. So there was not really much of a shock when by using well-prepared engineering operations, the Russian forces were able to inflict so much in damages. So while games portraying it as being rock, paper, scissors like isn't accurate, there is a continuous cycle that takes place where new offensive tools replace old offensive tools as they come to deal with new defensive works and defensive plans, structures, various things like that. There are now automated means for putting in minefields, and now they can also be deployed from artillery, from aircraft, from a number of different things. So, oh, that one was out of there. That one was out of there. Lying game. If they want to make this infinite mode more difficult, I could see them throwing in multiple of these bosses at a time. Or maybe like all three of them coming in at once, stuff like that. That'd be kind of interesting. We're at a phase in which defensive warfare is outperforming maneuver warfare. And that will likely last until we develop countermeasures, stronger countermeasures than what currently exist, to drone surveillance, especially as things get cheaper in that front. The electronic jamming and electronic warfare, those changes will certainly help. The ability to destroy minefields from range without suffering significant casualties, that would be another process that would help with it. The current mine plows and that sort of thing, that's it works in a temporary sense, but you're throwing millions of dollars away on a vehicle that is going to be used as a consumable. To me, as a former sapper, it's a really interesting time to monitor world events and conflicts. There's a lot of things taking place that I had trained on, and helped be part of the development of doctrine for and against. And it's just pretty cool to see that pan out. Now, we're talking I've been out for 19 years, so I've been out for some time. So it took a while before all this stuff came around, but it's still pretty interesting to me. We'll see how this continues to play out. But I think Warfare is going to be a lot less maneuver oriented for at least 5 years, possibly 10. I'm open to being wrong. And obviously the amount of casualties suffered might be reduced if maneuver comes back into situations, because when people get outmaneuvered, they typically surrender, and that actually tends to save lives. But we'll have to wait and see on that. So I would like to be able to double click on one unit and then just have all of that particular type of unit selected across the screen. I think that would be a really nice change. In general, the targeting reticle, you gotta get to almost center mass before it starts getting it. Although if coming from the top, hitting center mass isn't even selecting it. So that's something that I would like to see a little bit different. Additional difficulty thrown in on this endless mode. I don't know how that would work out. Maybe new types of bosses. Maybe something infiltrating back at your base, so that you can't just focus everything on offense. Your stuff will get taken out if you're not defending it. There were a number of maps where there were side roads that would come in, and then they could attack via that. So I hit 700k, and I've been recording for quite some time. And like I said, really the matter for getting the high scores in this is patience. So, as we sit here and marvel at the pretty well portrayed machines, I mean, quite honestly, the historical inaccuracies are pretty minor, and some of them, putting reactive armor on an Abrams, it might actually be happening currently right now in Ukraine. And that's Operation Polygon Storm. An opportunity for you to go out, do your best to take their flag. This is Nord, call sign Sapper425, signing off. Bye-bye!